Hey everybody, Dr. Pancakeface here, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the brand new skill trees that Overkill just released for Payday 2. Now, the skill trees are only in the open beta right now, so they're not really fully implemented into the game yet. And also with them being in the open beta, this isn't really the finished product. This is just kind of a test, you know, putting it out there, letting people take a look at it, letting people play around with it, kind of gauge the feel for it, see how people react to it. If they need to change something, then they'll change something. If they want to keep something, then they'll keep something. And in fact, there's actually a couple of skills right now that they're not even working yet. And I'll show you those in a sec. But very first problem that I ran across here, you can't use all the skill points, because as you can see I have 2 skill points left here. And okay, so here, Cable Guy takes 2 skill points to buy the basic. Will not let me buy it. So that's the first little glitch here. But that aside, I personally think that the new skill points are pretty interesting, because essentially they've broken it down a little bit, combined a couple of things, got rid of a couple of useless things that nobody really used, and as a result we have sort of a streamlined set of skill trees where you can actually pick up more stuff. Now, I just kind of spent the points just to kind of see what all I could spend the points on, and I got quite a few things, to be honest. And we'll go through and we'll take a look at all the skill points, and I'll show you the stuff that I was able to buy with the skill points that I had. So first off, let's look at the Mastermind tree. Now, under the Medic tree here, we have a couple of things. We have Combat Medic, which basic costs 1 skill point, which almost forgot. The skill points that are used to spend to buy. There we go. Skill points that are used to spend. What am I talking about? Skill points that are used to buy the shit. Okay, so first off, the first skill point here. The basic costs 1 skill point, and the ace costs 3. Then you go up 2 skill points for the basic, 4 for ace. You go up to the next one, it's 3 skill points for the basic, 6 for ace, and then finally, all the way up here at the top, it is 4 skill points for the basic and 8 for the ace. Kind of interesting. One of the reasons why I like this is because you don't have to spend quite as many skill points to get all the way up to the top. A lot of the skills, they actually move down to make it a little bit easier to get to, and I'll show you those once I get to them. So first off, let's go on ahead and start off with Combat Medic. Now, Combat Medic basic, after you've revived a crew member, you get 25% damage bonus for 10 seconds. Reviving another crew member gives them 30% more health. That one, same as Combat Medic as it was before, except it's now down at the very bottom. As we move up, we see that the first aid kits have actually been moved over here into Mastermind from Fugitive. It's no longer in Fugitive, now it's in Mastermind. It's in the Medic. So you can buy the first aid kits, which here, the basic decreases the first aid kit and doctor bag deployment time by 50%, and then aced out, crew members who use the first aid kit or doctor bags take 20% less damage for 10 seconds. So it not only does it buff the first aid kits, but it also buffs the doctor bags. Over here is painkillers, same as it was before. Crew members you revive take 30% less damage for 5 seconds. Aced out, the damage reduction is increased to 50%, or an additional 50%. Now, Combat Doctor, same as it was before. You can deploy 2 doctor bags instead of just 1, and the doctor bags have 2 additional charges for the ace. Here we have Uppers, which I believe, yes, it's the same as before. Adds 7 more first aid kits to your inventory, and then ace adds 3 first aid kits to your inventory, and the deployment for the first aid kits will be automatically used if the player is down. Interesting. Within 5 meter radius of the first aid kits. I don't think that was on there before. I think they added that. I don't really recall that one. And then Inspired is much easier to get now. Doesn't take nearly as many skill points to get up to it. As you can see, I used 4 10 What would this one be? 19, and then the 8 and the 4 is 12. So 31 points just to get up to here, as opposed to before where I had to spend a ton of points just to get up to Inspire. So that I really like. I can get Inspire much easier. Now over here under Controller, this is where we kind of have all of the skill points from Mastermind before that were centered around taking hostages and converting people. Now, down at the bottom we have Endurance, which is the same as before. No, I take that back. It's not the same as before, because Basic increases your number of cable ties, and it also increases the time that you tie them. So that's now been combined into the Basic. But the Aced Out does increase your stamina by 150% and increases your crew stamina by 50%. So the Aced Out's the same. Basic has changed. They've actually taken Cable Guy, combined that into one, and made that the Basic down here. Now, Cable Guy, now the power and range of your intimidation is increased by 50%, and you can now have 2 converted enemies at the same time. That is pretty fucking interesting for a minion build where you're just running around with minions and converting people and getting hostages and stuff. That's pretty nifty, because I always thought it was weird before how the intimidation was under Enforcer, but the converting was under Mastermind. I always thought that was kind of weird before. So now, pretty interesting. They went on ahead and threw it all into Mastermind, put it in the same tree, make it that much niftier. Now, over here is Joker, and what you'll notice, you don't actually have to buy a skill anymore to convert enemies. I'm guessing you could just do it automatically. Joker's the same as before. You can convert a non-special enemy to your side. Aced Out, converted enemy gains 55% more health, deals 45% more damage. Time to convert is reduced. Now, up here is Partner in Crime. Having converted enemy increases your movement speed by 10%. They basically took the 3 skills for converting enemies, or 3.5 or whatever it was, for converting enemies, mashed them into 2 skills. Because now Partner in Crimes, you get the increased movement speed. The converted enemy takes less damage. Having a converted enemy increases your health by 30%. Converted enemy takes another 45% less damage. So that's pretty nice. Now here we have Stockholm Syndrome, which this one was, let's see, civilians are intimidated by the noise you make and remain intimidated for 50% longer. So that's essentially the crowd control that they had. I think it was Control Freak before. Now it's Basic Stockholm Syndrome. And now your hostages will not flee when they have been rescued by law enforcers. Whenever you get into custody, your hostages will trade themselves for your safe return. This effect cannot occur during assaults, but this effect can occur during assaults, but only one time. So that's pretty neat. Now you can have hostages tied up on the other side of the map, and as long as you have this, hey, you're good to go. If you get taken into custody, bam, they trade themselves. Stockholm Syndrome. Or, as Richard Hammond likes to call it, Helsinki Syndrome. And here we have Hostage Taker. This is basically the top tier skill from before, where essentially having a converted enemy gets you health back. Now down here we have Sharpshooter, which this essentially gets a bunch of the stability, the accuracy, the reload skills, and throws them all in together. Because down here at the bottom we have Stable Shot. Basic Stable Shot gives you increased weapon stability. Ace gives you increased accuracy while standing still. Here's Rifleman, which I believe is the same as before. You snap zoom 100% faster with all weapons. Your weapon zoom is increased by 20. Oh, okay, no, never mind. This is for all weapons. Before, I think it was just for rifles or single shot weapons. I can't remember which one. Now it's applying to pretty much all of them. But it does say your weapon accuracy while moving with assault rifles and sniper rifles is increased by 50%, so that's pretty nice. Makes you a little bit faster with the assault rifles and sniper rifles. Now here for Marksman, they changed this up a little bit. This definitely used to be accuracy with single shot weapons, but now you gain additional accuracy with all SMGs, assault rifles, and sniper rifles fired in single shot. Oh, okay. So it doesn't apply to pistols or anything like that. You gain a 20% accuracy bonus while aiming down sights with all SMGs, assault rifles, and sniper rifles fired in single shot. Okay, not bad. Aggressive reload increases your reload speed with assault rifles Aced out, any killing headshots will reduce your reload time by 40% for 2 seconds. Can only be triggered by SMGs, assault rifles, and sniper rifles. So it looks like this tree here is nothing but assault rifles, SMGs, and sniper rifles. Now here is your spotter. Enemies you mark take 15% more damage. Enemies you mark take an additional 50% damage when further than 25 meters away. So that's really wanting you to shoot at long ranges. Ammo efficiency, getting 3 headshots in less than 6 seconds will refund 1 bullet to your used weapon. Wow, that doesn't seem like very much. That's a decent amount if you're using like the fucking 50 cal, but when you're using something with a shit ton of bullets, I don't know if that's gonna be really nice. Yeah, it'd be great for sniper rifles, but for anything else, let's see. Aced, getting 2 headshots in a row will refund 1 bullet for your used weapon. Okay, well that's not that bad. I mean, if you get lots of headshots, which I've gotten lots of headshots, I've gotten close to 100 headshots in matches before, that would be 50 bullets refunded. But at the same time, I'm running around picking up ammo. I don't really give a shit. So I don't know if I like ammo efficiency that much. Some of the other ones aren't that bad. I especially like this bit of Mastermind. This bit, not so much. But that's just my playstyle. Now, in Enforcer, this has definitely changed up quite a bit over here. Now, here we have Shotgunner, which they took a lot of the skill points, or the skills that have to do with shotguns and help with shotguns, and they kind of threw them all together. Now, first we have Underdog, which is the same as before. When you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies, you receive a bonus damage. Aced out, you receive less damage. Shotgun Impact, same as before. Your weapon's ability with all is increased. You deal 10% more damage with shotguns, and then an extra 35% damage with shotguns. Shotgun CQB, you reload 15% faster. And looks like they changed the Aced out, because now you get an additional 35% faster, where before it was just Steel Sight. So that's pretty neat. Now it actually makes Aced out shotgun CQB worth it, because before most of the time you were shooting from the hip, so who gives a shit about Steel Sight? Let's see, Far Away. Your accuracy bonus while aiming down sights with shotguns is increased by 40%. Not bad. You gain a 50% increased effective range with shotguns when aiming down sights. Not bad. So that will make the Raven shotgun with flechette ammo even more of a sniper. Close By. You can now hit fire with your shotguns while sprinting. Okay, not bad. Your rate of fire is increased by 35% while firing from the hip with single-shot shotguns. Are there automatic shotguns? I don't think I played with one. Shotguns with magazines. Shotguns with magazines. Oh, okay. Have their magazines increased by 15 shells. Okay, so that's for things other than like the single shots or the double barrel. So that's not bad. Increased shotgun magazine, increased damage, increased reload, increased accuracy. Wow. This is pretty nasty for shotguns. And then there's overkill. We know what that does. When you kill an enemy with a shotgun, you receive bonus damage. And then Aced Out applies that bonus damage to other weapons, but now it gives you a weapon swap speed increase. So, yeah, it's not bad. Now over here we have Armorer. This is pretty interesting because they definitely changed up a couple of things here. Moved a few things around. So first we have Oppressor, which I think before just made your weapons more threatening, but now not in the slightest bit. Completely different now. Now the basic, your armor recovers 15% faster, and the Aced Out reduces visual effect of flashbangs. That definitely is not what Oppressor was before. Here we have Die Hard, which I think before was being able to use your primary weapon when you're on the ground, but now you take 50% less damage while interacting with objects. And Aced Out increases the armor of all ballistic vests by 20. Here we have Transporter, which is similar to before. You can throw bags 50% further, but Aced Out, this is pretty interesting. For each 10 armor points, the bag movement penalty is reduced by 1%. So that's kind of interesting. So if you have 300 300 armor, 200 armor. I can't remember how much the improved combined tactical vest is. But if you have that thing on, then that will reduce your movement penalty with bags by quite a bit. But you'll also have a movement penalty from the armor, so I guess it kind of offsets. Now here, bulletproof has been changed up a little bit. Instead of improving your armor, what it does is the armor recovery rate for you and your crew is increased by 20%, 25%. And now the aced, when you melee or shoot shields enemies, when you melee or shoot shield enemies, there's a chance that they'll get knocked over by the sheer force. The chance depends on the damage of the used weapon. Okay, not bad. So I think that's aced out Iron Man is now aced out bulletproof, and the old aced out bulletproof is now basic bulletproof. But check this out, Bullseye is now under armor. Because before it was all the way at the top of the Fugitive tree, which was it was kind of dumb in my opinion to have that over there. Because I mean, pretty much all you were going to go for was Swan Song and Sneaky Bastard and akimbo weapons, which now you can use akimbo weapons. You don't have to have shit that allows you to use akimbo weapons. You get negative penalties to them, but now you can use them regardless of whether you have any skill points for them or not. That's kind of neat. But Bullseye has now been moved over here to armor, and it's basically the same. You generate 10 armor for each successful headshot, and then aced out is you generate an additional 25 armor for each additional headshot. So that's pretty neat. And then Iron Man is the basic Iron Man is the old basic bulletproof. So they put that in Iron Man, and then aced out is unlocks the ability to wear the improved combined tactical vest, which that kind of makes more sense than the way it was before, in my opinion. Now, ammo specialist. For basic, you gain 50% increased ammo box pickup range, and every 6th enemy you kill will drop an extra ammo box. It's kind of neat. Bulletstorm. Directly after you deploy an ammo bag, you can fire your weapon. So that's the same one as before. It's basically shooting without using up any ammo. Now here's something that's interesting. They moved portable saw down. As opposed to being all the way at the top of Enforcer like it was before, now it's at the bottom. It's much easier to snag portable saw for, you know, a bunch of different builds as opposed to having to spend a bunch of points in Enforcer just to get up to the portable saw. I always thought that was kind of annoying. So I actually really like it being down here. Carbon Blade's the same as before. Ammo Specialist is the same as before. You can place 2 ammo bags. They have additional ammunition. Fully loaded. I think this one has been changed. Yes, what am I saying? Think it has been changed. Basic increases your total ammo capacity, but aced increases the amount of ammo you gain from ammo boxes by 75%. Ammo boxes are the things that that enemies drop. They're not the ammo bags. They're the little red boxes on the ground. So it increases the ammo you get from them by 75%. You also gain a 5% base chance to get a throwable from an ammo box. The base chance is increased by 1% for each ammo box you pick up that does not contain a throwable. When a throwable has been found, the chance is reset to its base value. Does not work with custom shotgun ammo. Does not stack with the perk deck skill walk-in closet. But still, that's pretty fucking neat. You can pick up throwables from guys that you kill. That I really like. I really like the way they changed that. I always thought that was really annoying that you could only pick up throwables from ammo rooms, and ammo rooms were few and far between, or grenade cases, and grenade cases were normally like left at the beginning of the fucking level. So what the hell? I was like, grenade cases were fucking useless. Now over here in Technician, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because they took the sentry guns. Holy shit, have they buffed the sentry guns? Wow, I am digging this. Now, first off, we have defense up, and the sentry guns actually now cost part of your ammo to deploy. So, for defense up, for basic, it costs 56% of your current ammo to deploy. Your sentry gun gains a protective shield. That's pretty neat. Before, the protective shield was all the way at the top, but now it's all the way at the bottom. So that's pretty cool. Here we have Eco Sentry. Basic, the sentry gun costs 48% of your current ammo to deploy. as opposed to 56%. And now your sentry gun gains 150% increased health. So that's pretty neat. So already you're starting off with buffs to your sentry gun to make it more durable. Here we have your sentry gun gains a 100% increased accuracy, and then aced out, your sentry gun's rotational speed is increased by 150%. Your sentry gun also gains 50% more ammunition. So that's pretty neat. I mean, they're really buffing the sentry gun to start off with, as opposed to little shitty things here and there. Now here, yes, okay, this one. When you deploy, you can deploy and interact with all deployables 50% faster. And now, this is pretty interesting, because before you could bring the sentry gun and the C4, but now you can bring a sentry gun and something else. It doesn't say, specifically what you can bring. It just says a second deployable with you. You can now equip a second deployable to bring with you. The second deployable has 50% less use than normal. So I'm guessing that means that you can bring, ECM with you. You can bring medic bags, first aid kits, ammo bags. So you can actually run around with a sentry gun and fucking ammo bags. That's awesome. that I find really neat. But here, yes, this is the one that I really like. Okay, so in basic, you can now select a less noisy version of the sentry guns, making them less likely to be targeted by enemies, which is kind of neat. But what I really like is the aced. You can now toggle AP rounds with your sentry gun, lowering the rate of fire by 75%, but increasing the damage by 250%, and allowing it to pierce through enemies and shields. That is fucking awesome. Oh man, I am liking that. Honestly, I almost feel like that should be at the top, but it isn't. Up here at the top, oh man, it is way better than that. Because basic, you can now carry one extra sentry gun, but aced, you can carry an additional 3 sentry guns. Wow. You can have a ton of sentry guns now. And with this, they deal a ton of damage. Oh man, I'm digging sentry guns now. I cannot wait to make a sentry gun build with these new skills. Now, when we get into the middle of Technician here, we have Breacher. Now, this is the one that's not quite completed, because as you can see, Combat Engineer, not implemented. More firepower, not implemented. Fire Trap, not implemented. That kind of sucks. So I'm guessing these are the C4 and the trip mines and shit, because that's the C4 and trip mines were in Technician before. Down here we have the drill skills. So you fix your drills 25% faster. Drills are silent. Civilians and guards have to see the drill in order to get alerted, which that's kind of neat. Going ahead and give you the silent drill to begin with. Then here it gives your drills a 10% chance to automatically restart after breaking. That's pretty nice. Drill Sergeant. Your drilling and sawing efficiency is increased by 15%. Further increases your drilling and sawing efficiency by another 15%. And then we have Kickstarter. Your drills and saws have an additional 20% chance to automatically restart after breaking. I don't know how a saw would get an additional 20% to automatically restart after breaking, but okay. Aced out. You gain the ability to restart a drill by hitting it with a melee attack. That's kind of funny. I mean, it is a Russian piece of shit, so I can understand just kicking the drill and making it work. You get 1 chance for each time it breaks with a 50% success rate. That's kind of funny. But now you don't have to sit there and fucking restart the drill every time. That's pretty neat. Now over here we have Oppressor. So we start off with Steady Grip. You gain additional accuracy, and then you gain additional stability for aced. Heavy Impact. Your shots have a 20% chance to knock down enemies. Aced out, your shots now have a 60% chance to knock down enemies. Fire Control. You gain an additional accuracy when firing from the hip. Aced out, you gain decreased accuracy penalty when shooting while moving. Fast Fire. Your submachine guns, light machine guns, and rifle gain 15% bullets in the magazines. This does not affect the shock and awe ace skill. Gotcha. Okay. Aced out, you gain the ability to pierce body armor. So that's pretty neat. Here we go. Shock and awe. You can now fire from the hip with your weapons while sprinting. Aced out, killing 2 enemies with submachine guns, light machine guns, and rifles fired in automatic mode will reduce your next reload time by 60%. This bonus is reduced by 1% for each bullet above 20 in the magazine, in the total magazine size, down to a minimum of 20% reload time reduction. That's pretty neat. So I guess that would really be effective with light machine guns that have like the 150, 200, 250 round clips, and you shoot half of it and then go to reload. It doesn't take you 5 fucking hours to reload the damn gun. Now here we have body expertise. Okay, so basic 18.75% of the enemy's headshot multiplier is applied to the enemy's body. Ooh, nifty. This skill is only activated by submachine guns, light machine guns, or rifles fired in automatic mode. Aced out 62.5% of the enemy's headshot multiplier is applied to the enemy's body. Very nice. That's pretty nice. Because if you think about it, things like cloakers and tasers and bulldozers in freaking Death Wish and Overkill, holy shit, they got a lot of health to their body. Pretty much the only way to take them down effectively is just to blast them in the head. And with fully automatic weapons, shooting them in the head may not be the easiest thing to do. So that's pretty neat. I kind of like that. Okay, so here we have Ghost. We have Sixth Sense, which very useful stealth skill. I'm glad they put that in Ghost as opposed to Fugitive. So that's just, let's see. Oh, never mind. They changed that. Huh. I did not look at that. Interesting. So, basic. Increases the time until you start getting detected while in casing mode by 25%. You can also mark enemies while in casing mode. Aced out, you can pick up items while in casing mode. You also gain 30% more value from items and cash that you pick up. So that's not the one where you stand still and it sends out the little blip. That kind of bugs me. I hope they didn't get rid of that. That was absurdly helpful. Oh, no. They just changed it to Chameleon. Huh. Those names seem kind of backwards. I feel like the Sixth Sense would be better suited for this skill, and Chameleon would be better suited for this skill. But whatever. I'm not the developers. What do I know? Okay, basic. You gain the ability to automatically mark enemies within a 10-meter radius around you after standing still for 3.5 seconds. Aced out, you gain access to all insider assets. Ooh, very nice. Ooh, I like that. I really like that. Okay. Cleaner, you gain an additional body bag in your inventory, and you gain the ability to carry one more body bag in addition to the gained body bag. You gain the ability to place 2 body bag cases. Ooh, very, very nice. They put cleaner that far down. I really like that. Okay, Undertaker. You gain the ability to loop one camera for 25 seconds, temporarily disabling it from detecting you and your crew. You lockpick 50% faster. You also gain the ability to lockpick safes. Not too bad. They put the camera skill a little bit lower. I don't like that they... Was it... okay, never mind. I think Aced was 25 seconds, because I think Basic was 10 seconds. So that's pretty nice. I kind of like that. And then ECM Overdrive. Your ECM jammer and feedback duration is increased by 25%. Your ECM jammer can now be used to open certain electronic doors. Pretty nice. ECM Specialist, you can now place 2 ECM jammers instead of 1. The ECM jammer duration is increased by an additional 25%, and the ECM feedback duration lasts 25% longer. Pagers are delayed by the ECM jammer. They got rid of the restart for the feedback. That kind of sucks. Oh well, I never really used feedback that much, so it doesn't really affect me that much. Commando, on the other hand, I really like this. Because first off, we start off with duck and cover, which basic. Your stamina starts regenerating 25% earlier and 25% faster. You also sprint 25% faster, so that's kind of nice. And then you have the 25% increased chance to dodge while sprinting, and you gain the 15% chance to dodge while crouching or ziplining. That's kind of nice. That's pretty much the same. They just kind of combine some other skills into it. Thick Skin is a little bit different. Basic increases the concealment of melee weapons, and Aced increases the concealment of ballistic vests. So it no longer increases your armor of your ballistic vests, because I think... which one was it? I thought I saw one over here. Yeah, there it is. Increases the armor of all ballistic vests by 20. So it's over here under Armorer, as opposed to over here under Ghost. So kind of makes a little bit more sense. Now here we have Evasion. You gain 10% additional movement speed and 20% ladder climbing speed. And then aced out, you gain the ability to sprint in any direction. Your fall damage is also reduced by 75%, and you only take armor damage from falling from non-fatal heights. So that's kind of nice, because before, the sprinting thing was all the way at the top, and it was completely fucking useless. I don't think I ever actually got that in any of the skills that I ever, or any of the skill builds that I ever made. So I kind of like that they moved that down. And then they combined it with cat burglar, so that's kind of neat. Okay, here we have shockproof. Not entirely sure why they put shockproof into here. But I mean, it's not too bad. It's only in the third tier of skills, so not terrible. Yeah, this one, basically the same as before. The taser shock attack has a 30% chance to backfire when targeted at you, causing the taser to be knocked back. Aced out, when tased, you are able to free yourself from the taser by interacting with it within 2 seconds of getting tased. Over here we have dire need. When your armor is depleted, the first shot on any enemy will cause that enemy to stagger. The effect ends when your armor regenerates. And aced out, the effect persists for 6 seconds after your armor has regenerated. Interesting, but I don't know entirely how effective that would be. And then look at this! Sneaky Bastard and Ghost. So now I can get Inspire, Iron Man, and Sneaky Bastard. And then some stuff in here, and I'll show you those in a sec. But yeah, I can also get Sneaky Bastard. That's like really neat. I can combine grinder builds, or a grinder build with a dodge build. That's pretty cool. I like it. Down here we have camouflage. You're 15% less likely to be targeted by enemies when you are close to one of your crew members. Aced, you are now 30% less likely to be targeted by enemies when you're close to one of your crew members. Let's see. Optical illusions has not been implemented, so it's not available. Professional just buffs your silenced weapons. You gain additional stability and snap zoom speed, and then aced out is increased accuracy. Then we have subsonic rounds. Basic increases damage. Aced out increases an additional damage. Here is low blow, so you gain crit hits for every point under concealment. And then we have unseen strike up here. If you do not lose any armor or health for 4 seconds, you gain 35% crit hit chance for 6 seconds. The crit hit chance duration is increased to 18 seconds. So, wow. If you can make a nice dodge build and avoid taking any hits, you can build a really nasty silenced crit build. Because this isn't just silenced pistols. This is silenced weapons that it buffs. So you can make a pretty nasty crit build with this little bit right here. Now going into Fugitive, here's where the pistols get buffed. Now first off we have Equilibrium, which decreases the time to draw and holster pistols. And then aced out increases the accuracy with pistols. Here's Gun Nut, increases the pistol magazine size by 5 bullets, and then increases the rate of fire by 100%. Here is your Kimbo buff. And basic, it says your Kimbo weapon stability penalty is reduced by 8, and then aced, your Kimbo weapon stability penalty is reduced by an additional 8, and they also have 50% increased ammo capacity. So, you can essentially, with the new skills, you can use akimbo weapons no problem without even having the akimbo skills, which I'll show you. Look, akimbo, they are available. I can equip them, and I do not have the Hitman perk deck. So, no longer need skills, no longer need perk decks. That's pretty neat. Here we have Desperado. Basic, each successful pistol hit gives you an additional 10% accuracy bonus for 10 seconds and can stack 4 times. Aced out, you reload pistols 50% faster. Here we have custom ammo, which just deals additional damage. And then we have Trigger Happy. Basic, this is the Trigger Happy from Fugitive before, where when you get pistol hits, it boosts your damage. So that's pretty nice. Here is yes, this is a bunch of basically, you know, relentless skills that actually make sense. Down at the bottom we have 9 lives. Basic gives you an additional 50% increase to bleed out health, and Ace gives you the ability to get downed one more time before going into custody. Here we have running from death. This one's kind of interesting. Because basic, you reload and swap weapons 100% faster for 10 seconds after getting up. And Ace, you move 30% faster for 10 seconds after getting up. So you can get picked up with, let's say, Inspire from the other side of a wall and jet around that wall a lot quicker. Here we have Up You Go. You take 30% less damage for 10 seconds after getting up. And you gain 15% of your max health when getting up. So that's kind of nice. Another thing to buff you once you get back up after getting downed. Here we have Feign Death. When you get down, you have a 15% chance to get revived instantly, and Aced increases it by an additional 30%, so buffs it up to 45% chance to just get right back up. Here, I think everybody knows about this, Swan Song. That one's fucking awesome. And then, Messiah. Well, Pistol Messiah, but basically Messiah. While you're in bleed out, you are instantly revived. If you kill an enemy, you only have 1 charge. Aced, your Messiah charge is replenished whenever you use a doctor bag. Ooh, that's neat. They definitely buffed it. Doesn't require pistols anymore. You can replenish it with a doctor bag. I like that. That's pretty neat. But here, finally, the last set of skills in the new skill trees, Brawler. Definitely buffing melee skills with this one. This one's kind of neat. Makes it slightly interesting, and almost worth your time to use melee skills. Especially considering, where was it? I think it was this one. Yeah, Infiltrator. Gives you health regeneration for hitting people with melee weapons. Now, let's take a look at this. Oh, wrong one. Fugitive, there we go. So, Brawler. First off, we start off with martial arts. Basic, you take 50% less damage from all your melee weapons. Because of training. Aced, you are 50% more likely to knock down enemies with a melee strike. So, kind of neat. Here we have Bloodthirst. Basic, every kill you get will increase your next melee attack by 100% up to a maximum of 300%. This effect gets reset when striking an enemy with a melee attack. Whenever you kill an enemy with a melee attack, you gain a 50% increase in reload speed for 10 seconds. So, wow. That really increases melee attacks. Like, Jesus Christ. Where's the katana? There we go. I think this one has, yes. Look at that damage. 450. Wow. That is insane. And an additional 300%. That is nuts. Here we have Pumping Iron. Your melee attacks against non-special enemies do 50% more damage. Your melee attacks against special enemies do 50% more damage. So there's another 50% damage with melee attacks. Counter-Strike. I think we know what this is. You can charge your melee attack. Will counter-strike enemies that try to strike you, knocking them down. The knockdown does not deal any damage. And then Ace out, you gain the ability to counter-attack cloakers and their kicks. Here we have Berserk. Pretty much the exact same thing. Yeah, basically the exact same skill as before, except now it's over here as opposed to under Enforcer. But then look at this. This definitely makes Berserk skills, or Berserk builds, look really, really interesting. So, basic. You start at and cannot heal above 30% of your max health. You also take 30% less health damage, and healing is reduced by 75%. That kind of sucks. But, let's look at Ace. Health damage taken is now reduced by 50%, and health is, health damage is now reduced by 50%, and healing is reduced by 50%. So, you essentially start right above, oh no, never mind. When your health is below 50%. Yes, gotcha. So essentially, you start in Berserk mode. And then if you run that with the Berserk deck, wow, does that make for a nasty Berserk build. So, yeah. That should be fun. There are definitely a lot of fun builds to be had with these new skills. And just to take a look at what I was able to buy with my skill points. So, I had, I think, 120. I went up medic, got a couple of things here, mainly just to get out Inspire. Which, oh, I did not ace it out. Well, I need to do that. Got basic aced out Endurance. Over here, we went up and got basic Iron Man. I also have Bullseye. Let's see, didn't put anything in Technician. Aced out Sneaky Bastard, which I don't think that really matters. I could probably get rid of that, ace out Inspire, and then be able to pick up Messiah. So, let's see. Ace that. Swan Song. Ah, I have 6 points. I should be able to buy this. Let's get rid of that. Fuck Concealment. Who gives a shit? Ah, man, I want to ace that out. Can I not do that? Ah, that sucks. Yep, definitely got to mess around with this and figure out the best combos for skill trees. But, like, look at all the shit I was able to get. Trigger Happy, Messiah, Swan Song, Feign Death, bonus pistol damage, 9 lives, Duck and Cover, Iron Man, Bullseye, Inspire, Combat Doctor. Jesus Christ. All these things that, like, you could not get in one build, or did not want to get in one build, or were difficult to get in one build. Now you can easily obtain them all in one build. I like it. I like it a lot. There are some things that I may not like as much as others. Like, some skills, like, here, ammo efficiency. I don't really, that's not my playstyle, so, you know, I couldn't personally say that I like that one quite as much as some other things. Like, especially Bullseye being right here. Like that a lot. But yeah, like, that's not quite my playstyle. So I couldn't really sit down and say I really like that. There might be some people to look at that and go, "Oh man, that's freaking awesome." I don't know. And, you know, keep in mind this is the open beta for the skills. So a lot of this is probably going to change. Some of it may be improved, some of it may be removed, some of it may be moved around. Obviously, we have the not implemented ones that still need to be implemented. But, I mean, you know, for a first look at it, not too bad, Overkill. I actually like it. I was kind of worried about what you guys might do with the skills. But I like it. I like not having to spend nearly as many points to get up to these top tier skills. That's really nice. Because that was one thing that really sucked before. I had to spend so many fucking points to get up. So I was really limited on what really nice skills I could get. But at the same time, you know, it makes it a little bit more challenging because you can't have so many badass skills. So, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess. But in the end, I have to say, for now, I like the way it looks. I'm definitely going to have to try it out, play a little bit of games with it, test it out. But for the most part, I like the way it looks. Good job. Hope you guys like the way it looks. Yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go on ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Done and done. Put a bunch of turds on the bars and burn a hole through it. Nobody heard that. Don't worry about it. Can we get 50? Booyah! There it is. Alright, so here we are. Level 50. About 20 minutes in. I mean, if you don't